It's time to enter the drone zone with me, James Drone, aka Pure Ambient Drone. So hit that subscribe button, tap that bell, and get ready to synth on.
Hey there, Synth-Drones. Welcome to episode number 106 of Midnight Synthesizer Talk with me, James Drone, the voice of synthesizers. Yeah, I love doing that. The JDXA is the synthesizer I love to hate and hate to love. I hate to say it that way, but I just don't know what else to phrase it as. I've had the JDXA, I don't know, 3-4 times now, and if you follow me on Patreon, and many of you do, thank you for the support, you will know way in advance what I'm up to because I like to post things there many times in advance, and so you already know that a JDXA is coming. That's right, Patreon supporters, you get the heads up, and but for the rest of us here, yes, the JDXA is coming back to the studio. And I really want to add it to my era setup. You know, I've got this jam table where I've got all of this Roland gear set up. I've got the System 8, the System 1M. I've got the JDXI, the TR6S, the TB3. Whew, the list goes on, and an MX1 mixer. And I wanted to add the JDXA because out of all the Roland gear that I have on this jam table, that's what I call it, my jam table, I don't have any analog gear from Roland on the table. So I thought, it would be really cool to add the JDXA, which is a hybrid 4-voice analog synthesizer mixed with their Supernatural engine, and it sounds great. I mean, the JDXA is a great sounding synthesizer, and I think on this platform, my jam table, I think here it's going to shine. I did not like it in the mix with all of my other synthesizers that are, for the most part, high-end analog, and it's not because it didn't sound good with them. No, it has nothing to do with that whatsoever. It just didn't go with my studio workflow. But you know what? I won't be using it in the studio per se. I'm going to be using it on my jam table. And this is era compatible, which means that I can plug it straight into one of the USB input ports on the back of the MX1 mixer. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with what I'm doing, I have set up a table separate from my studio. And this table contains mostly all Roland gear. And as I speak right now, that's all it has on it right now is Roland gear. And the setup is very, very minimal because I don't want way too many synthesizers overwhelming my choices, okay? And so what I do is I pre-program the sequencers on many of these synthesizers, and then I go through and I live play some of the keys depending on what leads or pads I want to add to the mix that I'm creating, and then I tweak everything as I live play. So I will leave a link in the description to my playlist of what I am doing with this jam table. Now, one of my ideas was, and I said this in my studio redo video that I did last week, and that is I'm thinking about taking a synthesizer from the studio once a week maybe, and this is just a thought, and having it as a guest star, if you will. In other words, all of the Roland gear is going to be playing, but I will add a different non-Roland synthesizer into the mix each week to see how it plays with the era gear. And I think it will be interesting because I've already been kind of doing that anyway by trying out different things from Electron. I added a samples and a cycles into the mix. And I even had a drum impact and a Moog Slim Fatty in the mix with the Roland gear. And all of it sounds really good playing with the Roland gear. Roland plays really nice with full analog gear or even hybrid gear. Roland has some really great sounds. So getting back to the JDXA, I'm really excited for it because one of the things that I love about the JDXA that a lot of people don't like about it is the beautiful red light show that it has going on for itself. Now, some people complain they don't like the red. They wish they could change the colors up. Here's my perspective on it. Growing up, my parents always liked, in particular my mother, liked to put multicolor lights on the Christmas tree, right? And I never liked a Christmas tree with a bunch of different colors on it. I always liked them to be all blue, all white, all red, all green, whatever. Pick a color and stay with it. So I really like the idea that you have this beautiful red colored lit up synthesizer that sounds absolutely great. I think it's going to look fantastic right next to the System 8. And it's going to be a great light show for everybody, especially if I get a chance to turn down the lights and the camera can pick everything up still. It's a little bit hard to try to turn the lights down too low because then you can't really see what's happening. But it's going to be a lot of fun, and I think it's going to add a lot to my mixes. Did I have to have it? Nah, I don't think I had to have it. I think it was something that I just wanted to add because I've added some other things. Now, I do these videos in advance, so what I'm doing right now at this moment is I'm recording my synth jams in advance before I even place them on my channel. In other words, I already have several synth jams with various gear that's already been recorded. So it might be a few weeks before you even see the JDXA. And that's why I like to get on Patreon and tell my supporters there what I am doing. So that they have a little bit of a heads up. And now you all know what I'm going to be doing. So yes, I think the JDXA with the USB interface capabilities for the Era gear, yeah, I think that was the smart thing for me to do. It certainly adds limitation using the MX1 mixer from Roland because I'm limited to how many synthesizers I can place into the mixer, and I'm also limited by the table that I have chosen of how many synths I can hold on the table. And I promised myself with this table, you know, when I have as many synthesizers as I can fit on it, then that's going to be the limit, and that's what I'm going to stay with for my live jam sessions. Can I do live jam sessions in my studio? Absolutely. Everything in my studio is connected and working and communicating with my computer, communicating with my Phantom 2019. Everything is MIDI capable, everything is controllable through the Phantom, and everything is controllable to and fro from my DAW, from my computer. So everything is totally functional. And yes, I could do a live jam from my studio, but I don't want to because I have these stands and you have to bend, you have to stand up, you have to sit down, you have to stand up, you have to walk over, and there's just not a whole lot of room here for me. Now, I have lots of room in my house for another place for my studio, but this is in the back corner of my house where it's very secure and everything can be locked up and it's surrounded by concrete, all right, and a steel reinforced door. And so I like everything behind these closed doors because this is really my bread and butter and where I like to keep everything nice and safe. But I just wanted to let everybody know that the JDXA is coming. I've got some demo footage here that I want you to listen to if you don't mind. I've done it before, so it's kind of like a rehash of some stuff I already did on the JDXA. Nothing new at this point. To be honest with you, I haven't even got the JDXA unpacked and set up yet. But it is coming, and it is going to be a lot of fun, I think. So if you are unfamiliar with the Roland JDXA, maybe it is something that you should look up and get yourself familiar with because it is a very powerful synthesizer, and in the right hands, it can do some wonderful things. What do you all think about the JDXA? Leave a comment below. Until next time, I'm James Drone. Hit that subscribe button, tap that bell, and above all, keep calm and synth on.